You've got to learn to act like you don't care, not because you're cold, not because you've stopped feeling, but because this world feeds off your reactions. The moment people know what gets to you, they own you. They pull the strings, and you dance to their rhythm. But when you move like you've made peace with yourself, when you carry that quiet confidence that says, "I'm not moved by noise," you become dangerous, because nothing is more powerful than a person who cannot be provoked. You see, people will test you. They'll say things just to see if you'll flinch. They'll doubt you in public, criticize you behind your back, and smile in your face. They'll create situations designed to make you react, to lose your composure, to make you forget who you are. But that's where you've got to breathe. Hold still, and remind yourself, not every storm deserves your energy. Not every fight deserves your presence. Some battles are won by silence. Some victories are achieved by walking away. Acting like you don't care doesn't mean apathy. It means discipline. It means you care too much about your focus to waste it on things beneath your purpose. It's knowing that every ounce of emotion you spend on pettiness is emotion stolen from your goals. You've got dreams to chase, standards to uphold, peace to protect. You can't afford to let every opinion, every insult, every rumor pull you off track. Because the truth is, the world is full of people who want to see you lose your cool, not because they're stronger, but because they're threatened by your calm. When you act like you don't care, you're not ignoring life, you're mastering it. You're saying, "My peace is not up for negotiation." You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself to people who've already made up their minds. You stop trying to please crowds that were never meant to walk your path. You let your work speak. You let your results make the noise. You realize that success is the loudest reply, and silence is the strongest defense. People confuse reaction with strength. They think being loud means being powerful. But real power moves quietly. Real confidence doesn't need to announce itself. The lion doesn't roar all day. It moves with intent. It watches. It waits. It strikes when it's time. That's how you've got to be. You can't control what they say about you, but you can control how you move through it. You can't stop the gossip, but you can make sure your life outgrows it. So when they doubt you, stay calm. When they provoke you, smile. When they try to make you explain yourself, stay quiet. Because they can't destroy what they can't disturb. Let your silence confuse them. Let your discipline frustrate them. Let your focus humble them. You don't need to fight for respect when your peace already commands it. The one who masters their emotions doesn't just win the moment, they win the world. Control your reactions, because every time you react, you hand someone a piece of your power. The world will always test your patience, your ego, and your emotions. But how you respond determines who really controls the situation. When someone provokes you, they're not looking for truth, they're looking for control. They want to see if they can pull you out of your peace, if they can make you forget your discipline and act on impulse. But when you remain still, when you refuse to give them the satisfaction of a reaction, you become untouchable. Your calm becomes a weapon, your silence becomes armor, and your restraint becomes dominance. Controlling your reaction doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you rise above them. It's understanding that reacting is easy. Anybody can yell, anybody can get angry. Anybody can fight back, but it takes real strength to hold back, to choose silence over chaos, to choose clarity over emotion. Every moment you stay calm is a moment you grow stronger. Every time you choose peace over pride, you build control that nobody can take away from you. That's how you earn respect, not by reacting, but by mastering yourself. People will always misunderstand you, criticize you, try to push your buttons, but you decide how much access they get to your emotions. You decide who deserves your energy. When you stop reacting to everything, you start focusing on what matters. You start saving your power for your purpose, instead of wasting it on petty battles. The one who controls their reactions controls their destiny, because they're no longer moved by opinions, insults, or noise. They're moved only by purpose, and purpose doesn't flinch. Silence is stronger than explanation, because the more you explain yourself, the more power you give to misunderstanding. People who truly see your value don't need a speech to understand your intentions. Those who twist your words were never looking for clarity. They were looking for control. When you choose silence, you're saying, "I don't owe anyone proof of who I am." That silence unsettles people because they can't manipulate what they can't engage. They expect defense, but you give them calm. They expect argument, but you give them peace. That's when they realize they have no hold on you. Explanations often come from insecurity, from the need to be understood by those who don't matter. But silence is born from confidence. It says, "My actions will show what my words can't." You stop running after approval and let your consistency speak louder than any justification. Silence carries a strength that noise never can. It demands attention without asking for it. It shows maturity, control, and wisdom that words can't fake. When you learn to stay quiet in the face of chaos, you take control of the pace. You dictate the energy of the room without saying a word. People start watching you differently because silence makes them question themselves. It makes them wonder what you're thinking, what you know, what you see. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means you've decided to respond with power, not panic. You no longer need to prove your point. You let the truth reveal itself over time. That's the kind of strength that lasts. Because silence doesn't beg to be believed. It simply lets the results do the talking. Protect your focus, because not every distraction deserves your energy. The moment you let something small steal your attention, you weaken your direction. Focus is your most valuable currency, and the world is designed to take it from you. Through noise, through opinions, through people who drain your peace, just to feed their ego. You have to learn to guard your attention like it's sacred, because it is. Where your focus goes, your power flows. If you waste it on every insult, every rumor, every negative voice, you'll have nothing left for your goals. The people who truly win in life are not the smartest or the loudest. They're the ones who stay locked in. They don't allow distractions to decide their emotions. They understand that reacting to everything around them only delays what they're building. You've got to train your mind to stay unmoved in the middle of noise. You can't grow if you're constantly explaining, defending, and reacting. Sometimes protecting your focus means ignoring things that used to bother you, walking away from conversations that drain you, and saying no without guilt. Protecting your focus also means knowing your priorities. Every day, you choose between peace and drama, between progress and distraction. The more you choose peace, the stronger your focus gets. You start moving with intention instead of emotion. You stop seeking validation and start chasing elevation. And when you live like that, people will notice your calm, your growth, your progress, but they won't know how to shake it. Because you've built a wall of focus so strong that no noise can break through. Confidence means moving without seeking approval. Most people don't move because they're waiting for someone to tell them it's okay to start. They want permission, validation, applause before they take a step. But real confidence doesn't wait for a crowd. It moves in silence. It acts on faith. It trusts a vision even when no one else sees it. You can't build your future while depending on the opinions of people who are too afraid to chase their own. Confidence is built in the dark. When you keep going despite doubt. When you bet on yourself even when no one else does. When you move without needing approval. You free yourself from the emotional leash that keeps most people stuck. You stop chasing acceptance and start chasing excellence. Confidence doesn't mean arrogance. It means you know who you are and you refuse to shrink, to fit into spaces that can't handle your potential. It's not loud. It's not showy. It's quiet certainty. The kind that says, I know where I'm going, and I don't need you to believe it for me. That mindset separates you from the crowd because you no longer move to impress. You move to progress. Approval is addictive. The more you chase it, the more control it has over you. But when you detach from it, you gain real freedom. You become unstoppable because you're no longer performing, you're creating. You're no longer asking, will they like it? You're asking, does it align with my purpose? That's where true confidence lives. It's in the ability to act, speak, and move with conviction, even when nobody claps, even when nobody notices, even when the only voice cheering for you is your own. Master your emotions, because those who can't provoke you can't control you. The moment someone can push you into reacting, they own your direction. They decide your mood, your energy, your day. Emotional control is the foundation of real power, because it means you move by decision, not impulse. You can face disrespect and still stay composed. You can face pressure and still think clearly. You can face betrayal and still choose peace over revenge. That's what separates the disciplined from the impulsive. The impulsive speak first, act first, regret later. The disciplined breathe first, think first, and move only when it makes sense. When you master your emotions, you stop feeding other people's agendas. You stop fighting battles designed to distract you. You stop reacting to things that don't deserve your presence. Emotional control gives you space to observe instead of absorb. You start seeing patterns, reading intentions, and understanding that most people who try to anger you are simply revealing their own weakness. They need your reaction to feel significant, and when you don't give it, you take their power away without ever saying a word. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings, it's about owning them. You feel everything, but you don't let those feelings drive the wheel. You channel them into purpose. You use anger as energy, not destruction. You use disappointment as direction, not defeat. You use pain as motivation, not paralysis. That's how leaders move. They stay steady while others crumble. They stay focused while others fold. Because when you master your emotions, you don't just protect your peace, you protect your potential. No one can shake what's built on control, and no one can manipulate what moves with intention.